I'm a Namaste, guys. ChristianRLong, life enhancement consultant, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on this Tuesday evening here in Denver, Colorado. It's about 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Dun, 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 dun. And not really done with my day yet. Still have some more inner work to do, some more healings to do, but I want to jump on real quick. Every time I say that, it ends up turning into an hour-long stream. Avani, I'm a Namaste, but it will not be an hour today, I promise you. But I want to jump on. As you guys know, we do these live streams pretty regularly, usually every day. Not always. I have done them every day for months and months and months and months and months, but life is what it is right now, and I'm trying to do other things, other projects, and so here we are. So my question to you is, can you fall in love with a tree? Can you fall in love with a tree? And you're like, why are you talking about love? It's Valentine's Day coming up. Because we have a fixation, Kat, I'm a Namaste, we have a fixation of love being from person to person. But I'm going to share a story with you that might change your mind if you're open and receptive, which is very, very key on the spiritual path. I'm beginning to see more and more. If the receptivity and openness is not there, it's like a parachute that's not open. The person's going to fall flat to the ground. They're going to have a hard fall. So being receptive and being open is very, very receptive, or very, very important in moving your life forward. For those people who aren't open and receptive, they kind of stay stuck. So I remember when I was attending Maharishi University in Fairfield, Iowa in 2000. Wow, seems like 20 years ago. Wait a minute. And I remember that I was hanging out with one of the senior students who had been a long-time meditator, and he said to me, he wanted me to come over to his place to meet up about something. And I saw in the corner of his room an audio program on the power of now by Eckhart Tolle. And I was like, power of now, Eckhart Tolle. I don't even, is that the name of a person? Is that the name of a deity? Is that the name of a publishing company, Eckhart Tolle? And I really was attracted to the colors of the program, of the audio program. And so I said to him, I go, hey, do you mind if I borrow that audio program? Because the whole university is about meditation, spirituality, world peace, right? So of course, of course he's going to say yes. So he goes, yeah, take it, borrow it, not a problem. And I have to say that listening to that program 20 years ago really did change my life in very powerful ways. But the one that relates to tonight's topic on can you fall in love with a tree was when I graduated, or you could say applied and went to the next level of my spiritual practice. So within the world of TM, the Transcendental Meditation Movement, you start with the TM technique, which is 20 minutes in the morning and then 20 minutes in the evening. Then, after a period of years, in some cases practicing, you apply to the next level called the TM Siddhis program. A Siddhi means a yogic power, a yogic ability, telepathy, levitation, reading minds, which is telepathy, moving things with your mind, telekinesis. So the TM Siddhis program is how to develop certain Siddhis through your spiritual practice. That's a whole long discussion in and of itself. But once you take that class, instead of meditating for 20 minutes twice a day, you can meditate for an hour and a half. You can meditate for an hour to 2 hours every day. So you can basically like triple or quadruple the amount of time that you can be in the stillness, developing these siddhis within you, these latent abilities that each and every one of us have, but some through their inner work that they've done in previous lifetimes and previous incarnations, they have already developed certain siddhis to a high degree. So it's like they're going to be able to access those energies and those gifts faster than other people. It's similar if you have a group of third graders and they're in a math class. Are you going to have some third graders that are good in math, some third graders that are horrible in math, and some third graders that are prodigies that shouldn't be in that class but should be in a accelerated math class? Does that make sense? So it's the same thing in the spiritual path. some people have certain abilities that other people don't because they have not developed those abilities in other incarnations. So I took the cities course, and because of the dynamic of the university, and they wanted as many people meditating as often and as long as possible, if you're on campus as a TM Siddha practitioner, you can meditate 4 to 6 hours a day or more, right? It's a long time with your eyes closed. 4 to 6 hours a day or more. So a typical session would be maybe the beginning session would be maybe 3 to 4 hours, and then 2 hours in the evening. It's a lot of time meditating, but it's an amazing experience if you have the opportunity to do that. So while I was a student at the university and I took the TM Cities course, I was like, I'm going to take as much advantage of this opportunity to meditate longer with more people as often as I possibly can. And one day I'll do a stream about that and the dynamic of meditating with large groups of people and how hysterical that is. I don't know. I could give some very, very, very interesting stories. You wouldn't even believe me. I'm a little hesitant because I don't want to put a negative light on anything. But it just is what it is of people that are on the spiritual path. It's actually very comical. Anyways, so as I was doing those very intensive meditation practices for 4 to 6 hours a day, every single day, and I was listening in my off time when I wasn't studying or working, I was listening to The Power of Now, an audiobook before bed. Now, for those of you who do not know, Eckhart Tolle is German, and he has a very thick, relaxing German accent, which is typical, which is atypical because you don't think of Germans having relaxing accents, right? You think of them very hard, very crass, because it's kind of part of the nature of that part of the world. And I've been to Germany. I've been to Berlin. I've been to Berlin twice. And I love the German people. I had an amazing time. But they're kind of rough around the edges people. It just is what it is. And I went to school with a lot of Germans. So it's interesting to hear this audio program by Eckhart Tolle in a German accent, but it's very soothing and very relaxing. So I would listen to Eric Ottman, I would listen to his audio program before going to bed. And I had the book, got the book many, many years later, and I've read The Power of Now and the New Earth. Excellent. It's funny how he created a worldwide movement and wrote multiple books and created multiple audio programs and multiple kinds of retreats, all on the simple premise of be here now, which is actually the name of another spiritual teacher's book, Ram Dass, who recently passed away. May his soul be blessed. So, one time, so in essence, when I learn these things, when I study an audio program, when I attend a workshop, when I read a book, when I do my meditation practice, I try to understand deeper and deeper levels. I try to become masterful of whatever it is that I'm studying at that point in time. So at that point in time, I was doing my transcendental meditation practice religiously, morning and evening, for 20 minutes. And then I did the TM Cities program, which was 4 to 6 hours a day, religiously. And so when I was reading this program or listening to the audio program on The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, I was like, okay, he talks about being present, being here in the present moment, being still, being aware. Okay, how can I become better at that? So throughout the day, I would become aware of what is my physical body doing right now? I would become aware of how my legs are crossed, how my arms are open, where are my arms? Are there any physical pains in my body? I wonder what my bones look like through my skin. How are my bones moving and shifting, and my joints moving and shifting, and the ligaments and tendons? How are they contracting and expanding throughout the day? So I would just become more aware of my physical body and what my physical body was doing. So, great experience, right? And then one day, coming out of a 4.5 hour meditation practice, where I think the last 45 minutes I slept through, to be honest, as I came out, I felt super, super present and super, super clear. And I remember walking from the meditation center to my building where I was living actually as a staff member for the university. I ran the Cosmic Cafe. For those of you who've been to MUM, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't even think the Cosmic Cafe exists recently because they tore down the whole building and built something different. I don't think they call it Cosmic Cafe anymore. I was back 2017. So, as I was walking to my building, there's this huge tree that's right at the doorway, if you will, of going into the building. And all of a sudden, I stopped and looked at the tree, and all of a sudden, the tree became super, super clear, sharp, and my heart just expanded in a moment of love. And I felt as though I had an intimate connection with the tree. And it was almost like everything else disappeared or faded to black, if you will. And all I saw was the tree in not microscopic detail, but everything became sharp. And I was thinking in that moment, this is what he's talking about. Being here now, being present in this moment. Because there was no longer, in that moment, there was no longer a separation between me and the tree. It is as though we had become one for a very short period of time. Very, very short period of time. So I felt connected. I felt, actually not beyond connected, I felt like a level of merging with me and the tree. That rhymes. And it was a beautiful experience. And it just lasted for maybe a minute. Very, very short. But I was like, aha, what would my life look like? What would my relationships look like? What would my purpose on this planet look like if each and every moment of my life I was that connected, that present to the moment? Right? Also, during that moment of presence, there was no chatter. I wasn't thinking anything. I wasn't criticizing, discerning. I wasn't putting things in their own little boxes. It was oneness. Very, very short period of time. So the combination of the right environment, meditating with a bunch of people, prolonged practice, being very, very rested. My physiology was super, super rested. It was very sensitive. And then coming out and then having this consciousness of being here now, and then seeing the tree. It was a really beautiful experience. One of my more beautiful physical, spiritual experiences. Because you can have spiritual experiences that take place in the inner world, right? And you can have spiritual experiences that take place in the physical, material world. I know it sounds like a contradiction of terms, but Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui didn't title the book Miracles Through Pranic Healing for no reason. There was a very specific reason as to why he called it Miracles Through Pranic Healing. The original title of the first book that Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui wrote was called The Art and Science of Pranic Healing. And as more people practice these simple healing protocols throughout the world, miracles began to happen consistently and persistently. So he renamed the book Miracles Through Pranic Healing. Cool, right? So if you have not busted this book out and read it from cover to cover and applied it into your day-to-day life, I would highly recommend it. True, the book is over 20 years old, but here's a shocker. Truth is universal. Meaning, this book would have applied 1,000 years ago, and this book will apply 1,000 years from now, because it's teaching universal truths. Ta-da! So, that being said, if I can assist you with your being present moments in your life, so you have more presence of, how should I put this? You get out of your head and more into your heart. If that is of interest to you, then definitely let me know. You can go to ChristianRLong.com. It's my name. It's my website. You book a consultation or a healing session directly on the website. I get a confirmation through email and my phone. It's slid into my calendar, and then we see each other over Skype, Zoom, or FaceTime to help you with whatever it is that you need healing on, or guidance, or understanding on. It's interesting because a lot of people, the number one fear in the United States is the fear of public speaking. So this is a format for public speaking. And I think to myself, well, why is it easy for me to get up and speak when other people have challenges to get up and speak? And partly it's because I'm in the present moment when I'm speaking. I'm not thinking about the past, quote unquote. I'm not thinking about the future, quote unquote. I'm thinking about the here and the now. So all of my awareness is on the here and the now. And that's actually why I love speaking in public so much, is because it forces one to be here. Alex, I'm a namaste. It forces one to be here now versus thinking, regretting the past or worrying about the future. That makes sense? It's the same thing with skydiving. I've done skydiving in Las Vegas, 15,000 feet, whee, out of a plane. When you're skydiving, you're not worrying about the past or regretting the past, and you're not worrying about the future. You're here now, because if you're not here now, you don't open your parachute on time, and you fall to the ground going about, 168 miles an hour for terminal velocity. Amanda, namaste. I like how your profile picture is still giving a shout out to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, even though it's 2.5 months past Christmas. So I hope that is an inspiration for you guys. If you have not read this book, pick it up, get it on Kindle, pick it up at your Barnes & Nobles, physical copy for those people who were very tactile, that like to touch things and highlight things and draw things and get very creative with their books. I'm not that kind of person. I remember when I used to buy books from like metaphysical bookstores that are 20 years old, 50 years old, some of them 80, 90 years old. And it's always funny, the used books, they're like highlighted and all these like little notes and everything. So you get to kind of peer into the mind of the person who read the book before you. And you're like, I wonder why that quote was so important to that person, or I wonder why that person made those kinds of notes. I'm not that kind of person. I typically get out a notebook and I'll read, and I'll, not in the book, but I'll do it in the notebook. It's kind of how I roll. So that being said, lots of light, love, and power from God and my teacher, Grandmaster Cho Koksui, into your lives. If I can assist you in your healing process, feel free to reach out to me. Letty, Atma Namaste. I'll be seeing your beautiful shiny face in San Diego. You are going to the retreat, right? Because if you're not going to the retreat, we can't hang out anymore. I'm sorry. Wouldn't that be weird? It's a spiritual meditation healing retreat, and like you have these like weird boundaries with people. Like, look, I didn't see you at the retreat last year. We can't hang out anymore. We can't be friends. I thought you were dedicated to evolving as a soul. Pfft, you don't even attend the retreats anymore. Never mind. Not interested. Oh, the spiritual path. It's a challenging time. So love you guys very, very much. Thank you for sharing your time, your energy, for jumping on. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, put it in the comment section below or direct message me on Facebook. And if you're not signed up for our weekly newsletter, definitely sign up for the weekly newsletter. It goes out every Wednesday night. You go to ChristianRLong.com, go to the bottom, put your name and your email, and then you'll be added to the weekly newsletter. And I typically spend about 2 to 2.5 hours every Wednesday writing it. My blood, sweat, and prana in each paragraph, all for the purpose of improving the quality of your life. Kat, namaste. What's going on, Orlandian? Is that the right way of saying it? Orlandoan? Anyways, Kat's a super cool chick. Check her out, follow her. If you're into fitness and you're in the Orlando area, check her out. And that's it, guys. June, jumping on. June, by the way, I love the picture that you took in Naples with the symmetrical palm leaf. I don't know if that's what that was, a palm leaf. I like the picture though. June is a professional photographer that does photography all over the world. So if you want a super high level, like National Geographic level photographer, reach out to Junebug and she'll hook you up. So Love you guys very, very much. This is Christian Long, Life Enhancement Consultant, giving you a big and beautiful shout out for this evening, for this week in your life. Atma. Namaste. Bye-bye.